What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back to Manny Bagga Show. We are shifting gear as our previous week's information. Now we have a new guest in our show today. Welcome back.
Thank you, Manny. Glad to be here.
So Mr. Kahlon is our guest today. He has a very valid point where he wanted to discuss, which is very correlated to our real estate industry or any other industry you are. It doesn't matter you are in mortgage industry or you're in a lawyer industry or you're in doctors or any other industry. This conversation or this talk we are going to do today, which has 3 more steps coming up, part 1, part 2, part 3.
That's right.
And then that's going to be helpful for them.
100%.
So put that question up so the audience can see what they are going through, what they are getting from this show for this week.
Yeah. Well, I think it started with myself. I've been real estate's not a first career for me. It's a second career. And as I'm getting more into the business, I kind of look into the future and I want to kind of see where this is headed.
Okay.
So a couple of things I came across is this is a running joke in the industry that has anybody ever been to a realtor's retirement party? And the joke is no, because realtors never retire.
I totally get that, because in 20 years, personally, I never thought about it. I never see that person got retired and then they done, but very few. But all other industry, let's say you're working for government or you're work for military or you're working for teaching or anything, so they already have to say, hey, I'm going to work 10 years or 20 years, afterwards I'm retired.
That's right.
I get that, 100%. I agree with you.
Yeah, and I think realtors either keep their license and they just linger on and keep working as long as they can work into their 70s and 80s sometimes. Nothing wrong with that if they enjoy it, but at the same time there should be some exit strategy. There should be some way to take advantage of their work so that they don't have to continue working. And I think as I'm getting into the business, I'm looking to the future and seeing, is that something that's already built into real estate? Do people think about that? I compare it to doctors and lawyers, and there's clear structures and strategies in place of how to hand off all their work, still benefit from it, but at least be able to take some time off or take a step back. What is your thoughts? When it comes to real estate business, what is the most valuable asset in a realtor's business if they could take advantage of that?
So I wanted to understand myself and the audience that your question is that hey, all other professions does have an exit strategy.
That's right.
Or they have a retirement, or they have some kind of layaway that if they work for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, then they wanted to know that, you know what, I don't even feel like to work 40 hours. I don't feel like to work 20 hours. I don't want to feel like to work 10 hours, but I wanted to see, I still make something, but I don't even need to work.
That's right.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
So your question answers say, hey Manny, you are in this industry over 20 years, that what will be the most valuable asset in realtor's life?
That's right.
In one verse, I put it in at the back. Most probably you guys are all watching and look at it. So I say most valuable asset in a realtor's business is client relationship.
Makes sense. Okay.
Client relationship. Like you're in this industry, before you were in financing, now you're in the real estate, like you're working in both, but you did it both worlds.
Yes.
But what is boiled down to at this moment? Like let's say we do marketing, we do come back and then nurture, and we grow a new leads, and new leads leads to a contract. Doesn't matter if that person purchase or they sell. What is a common denominating into the whole factor we are playing with?
Yeah, we're helping people, helping clients, yeah.
Okay, so then let's say we sold the property or we list the property and sell the property. Who we are relating with it?
The client.
Okay, so then when you make them a client, you can say, hey, I'm buy you a dream home, and then they will become your client. What we are doing with that person?
Creating a relationship.
Okay, so then over the time frame, you become their friend, you become like, you go to their home, you see their kids growing up.
Absolutely.
Like some of your friends, when you got married and then they got married.
Yes.
Then you grew up your profession, you grew up your profession, you grew up your little kids there. So what happened? You're building a relationship.
That's right.
With those same thing with me. When I go 20 years back, I go see the peoples, I see them the same way. I say, oh my God, this kid was so small. Now it's like 20 years old.
That's right.
Like I met last week one of my clients. They did not have any kids when they got married. Now they have 2 kids. I said, oh my God, so-and-so, you got 2 kids. But what did happen over the time? I did not sell the home to them. I become a part of their family.
Yes.
They are my family friends. So over the year, if I interact with them or so, what did I do? I built a relationship.
100%.
So the common denominator over the year, doesn't matter in the real estate or any other fact, they are in the mortgages or they are in doctor or in a lawyer, they are the same way as we are.
Yes.
Our answer is the most, I can say, invaluable asset is client relationship.
Makes sense. Yep.
What is your comment about it?
Yeah, the relationship is the main thing in the business. If you're going to do a good job for a client, if you're going to do your best to serve the client, at the end of the day, it's going to result in a relationship. And how this kind of, I see how this connects to what we're talking about, because if somebody wants to leverage their business, if they want to take advantage of 20, 30 years of hard work, it comes down to what's the asset in that business they're leveraging. And it's very clear that the asset in real estate business is the client relationship.
Correct. So the people that are watching today, or they are interested, they are in the industry 20, 30, 40 years, they all are like me or like Such. I wanted to clarify to them that, hey, you guys work so hard. You guys do a great job to do the best out of best for your client, but those clients are your asset. You need to leverage, but out of those, if you're not leveraging, it means you are just hitting the only half boat, but you are not doing half.
That's right.
Okay, if somebody asks me, say, hey Manny, where's your businesses coming? I'll be honest with you, but if much you don't know, our 60% of the business in the Bagga team is from referral and repeat business.
That's right.
Why? Because the Bagga team is dedicated to deliver the best service they can do ever.
Yeah.
But on the same token, to connect with them. Be part of their birthday, be part of their anniversary, be part of their kids. So you build a relationship over the time frame because they refer, say, oh my God, Manny Bagga did a good job, or Kahlon did a good job. They need to refer back to those people.
That's right.
I'm giving you a asset because you asked me, but let's do it numbers, okay? So think this way, Such.
Yeah.
A one realtor do 20 transactions in a year.
Okay.
I understand some realtors do 40, 50, 60, even 100 or 200.
Yeah.
Good. But I'm going to say, okay, you know what? I look at an average realtor who does, because that's your second job. They don't want to push. They do 20 transactions a year.
1 to 2 a month, yeah.
So think you start 0 today. This year, you can work with 20 transactions. You sold 20 homes in this year, 2023.
Yep.
So think if 2023 you did 20 homes in 20 years, by 2043, how many transactions you did?
400.
So 20 transactions a year, by 20 years, you retain 400 client relationship.
Yes.
You did work with the 400.
Yeah.
Now think this way, if you are 20 and you work 30 years, 600.
Yeah.
Now 20, and some people in this industry is 40 years.
That's right.
I admire them and they are my mentors, they are my teachers, but I in love with them. They serve minimum 800.
Yeah.
Some of them are even more than even 4,000-5,000 people.
Wow.
This is just only,
that's right.
This is only small number.
Small numbers, yes.
But I know people who did over 5 to 7 or even 10,000 client relationship over the time frame of their career.
Yeah.
Is this making sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Up till this point, what did you get?
That even a basic realtor with a basic level of operation will have a big pool of people they've touched, of transactions they've done, and the relationships that have resulted over 20, 30 years.
So what I'm trying to show you here, that doesn't matter you are in the first year or you're in 5 years, you're 10 years, you are growing a client relationship. Clients are your asset. They are a product which you can utilize, which is you can leverage to produce more repeatable and referrals back from those people.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah. So on both sides, if you're just in the business, then it's important to understand the value of every transaction and the client relationship. It's not just about the sale, it goes far beyond the sale. And if you look through the sale and look to the person that you're dealing with, the family you're helping, and treat that as the main thing beyond the sale, that of course is going to translate into a long-term relationship. That's number one. And number two, if that's your focus over your career, then you will have a big list of those relationships you've built.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm giving you my example. I'm not giving anybody else. So think if Manny Bagga start in year 1, I did 400 transactions in 20 years.
That's right.
For example, me, okay? 20 years. But then out of that, how this math works as such. So if you have a 20 transaction you close, out of 20 clients, the half of them, they are there for you, but they're not going to become the best advocate you are looking, who really in love with you, who really want to do a more business with you, and who really wanted to tell 10 other people that say, hey, Such did the phenomenal job. You really wanted to buy, or you really want to sell, go see them. Might you guys has the same way. When you are in your profession, you guys did a great job, and you have the same retain those referrals because you are in touch with them.
Yes.
So think out of 10 people, they are good, but they're not your advocate.
That's right.
My math said if you have a 10 and you divide it by 2 further, so basically 25% of your total sales is 5 advocates.
That's
think
right.
if you did 20, you have a 5. And if you did a 40, you have a 10.
That's
if
right.
If you did 100, you have a 25.
Makes sense.
It depends how much transaction you are doing. You are producing minimum 25% of your advocates.
Okay.
What is advocate in your eyes?
Somebody who is going to recommend you wholeheartedly. They're excited to talk about you if real estate ever comes up. They want to tell people about you because the strength of the relationship, the job you did for them, and just because that's the kind of people they are. So 25% is a very reasonable number for people that will become a referral source.
You are in your past, in your financial, now you're in the real estate. Give me one example when you have that moment and then people come down and call you. Is that numbers are true, I'm telling you?
100%.
Give me one example.
One example is, I'm not going to use names, but a gentleman that I've known for 6-7 years. We know each other from a previous business as well as in real estate. And I don't understand. I get a call every 3 to 6 months. There's always somebody new. Such, just talk to this person. They'll be calling you. Here's their number. You need to talk to them right away. This is what they need. Out of the blue. I've seen him. I see him maybe 2-3 times a year at most. But there's always consistently every quarter, and sometimes 2-3 in a month, where he's like, you need to talk to Such, and this is his number, and he calls me, gives me their number, make sure we connect. He follows up to make sure we talk after a couple of days. Wow. Those kind of people are, they're gold, and the relationship is beautiful, and it's something that you can't really put into words.
100%. So my takeaway for all the audience who are watching by this video, please go back to your database. Doesn't matter which CRM you guys are using. I wanted to know whatever the number you have. Let's say you are in 5 years in business, or 2 years, or your first year, or your 10 year, 20, 30, 40, whatever the year you are. I wanted to see if you guys are number one, if you guys are keeping a track, how many transactions you did, and who you are dealing with them. If you are CRM using, that is a gold mine. That's a gold mine sitting in your backyard. If you are not utilizing on the next level, you are missing the half business in somebody else's hand. What does that mean to you? So think, if you close 20 transactions in 20 years, I am producing 5 advocates, okay? 5 advocates means, now I'm pointing over to you, Such, 5 advocates per year, 20 years, I have 100 advocates.
That's right.
What
100 people like the gentleman I just described.
Okay.
100 people out there doing marketing for you, recommending you, and most of the work is done because by the time the client calls, they're already ready to do business.
And then if you are in 30 years in the business, you have a minimum 100, but that's based on 20 transactions. If you did 50, this will be multiplied by 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever that may be.
That's right.
But if it's 40 years, you guys, you have a 200.
Yeah.
Did you ever imagine, I told earlier that our main business, 65% of business is coming from repeat and referral.
That's right.
If in 20 years, if I have 100 advocates, you know how many transactions in 1 year we close at 100?
How many?
65%. I tell them right now, in 20 years, I can guarantee you come to my office, over 50 to 60 transactions just from that part of our people are just coming from those segments.
Amazing.
Why? Because we are in touch with them.
That's right.
We were connecting with them because that's our main bread and butter for our future.
To cultivate those relationships. Yeah.
So your question and answer, we went far away.
Yeah.
You're going to say, you ask me, say, hey, in most valuable asset in a realtor's business is?
Client relationships.
And in client relationship is work? these numbers.
That's right.
And right now, to be in this video, to letting you know how powerful that is, if we see that this is not an only client, this is not a one paycheck that I sold the home
That's
and
right.
I collect the paycheck, I don't care about this person. No, if you are seeing that, hey, it's my client, I wanted to do the best job, which you guys are doing. Every realtor out there, they are not doing a bad job. They are doing the best as per their best ability. They are putting up seeds every month, every week, every year. But the thing is, this one right now, in this one segment, what we're trying to expose to you guys, that hey, if you are in 20 years in a business, this is your powerful, this is your gold mine.
That's
is
right.
Coming back.
Absolutely. 100%,
Am I right?
100%.
If 60 transactions are coming to our office, you can multiply by $8,000 or $10,000. You can see the numbers. What is the outcome is in 1 year out there.
100%. Yeah, no doubt.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
So what is the message you want to convey to the audience by this first segment before we can wrap up?
Two things.
Okay.
If you're in real estate, it's not just about the sale, it's not about the listing, it goes far beyond that. You're reaching into a person or family and their life. And if this is going to be a long-term business, that relationship is far more important than the transaction. That's number one.
Correct.
So in the daily business, you got to think about the relationship more than the sale, and that will serve you 100% of the time. Point one. Point two, if you do a good job of that over 10, 15, 20, 30 years, you will have a very tangible asset in your business, those client relationships. Whether they're advocates or even good clients, the client relationships becomes your asset that you can then leverage. How you can leverage that so that you can maybe work a little bit less or create a different structure or completely exit your business and still earn income, that we will cover in video 2 and 3. But the point is, to be able to have those options, you need to have an asset, and the asset is the relationships. So cultivate them, develop them, and regardless of today's paycheck or the paycheck in 20 years, focusing on the relationship can never serve you wrong.
Fantastic. I totally agree with you, Such. My takeaway and give it back to all the audience who watching this video. Number one, you definitely need to have a proper CRM. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to use. I'm not recommending anybody, I'm not a buyout to somebody, but at least you know what you did and how you connect and when you're going to be connect. If you don't have a CRM yet, please put it in your notebook that you wanted to be, put all those transactions in your CRM so you can connect. Yes, you got a paycheck. Yes, you did a good job, but CRM is number one.
Yes.
Number two, put this way together that every year, if you're closing 20, who's your 5 advocates on?
Yes, identify.
You need to identify, you need to picturize. Think if you are you're going a plane from here to Dubai, okay? So you have like 5 categories. You have a first class, you have a business class, you have a premium, or you have economy. How those people are treating you.
Yes.
Am I right?
No doubt.
So you need to treat your clients, be on the base of that he's my advocate, I'm gonna treat them that on the first class. He's a business class, I'm gonna go see them because that person can recommend you to 10 or 15 or 20 over the time frame if you do a great job. So that's my second good, I can say, advice for you who are watching. Hopefully this video will help for you to determine that real estate is not only to close a transaction and get a paycheck. Invest in your client. That is your future gold mine, which we'll be explaining in our video number 2. So stay tuned. Hopefully this video will open up some of your eyes and see something different. Our major goal the Bagga Team's major goal is to help you. If you guys have any questions, you guys have any doubt, you are still our friend. It doesn't matter, call us, email, and where they can connect with us and such.
You can email myself, such@manibagga.com, or direct phone call, 587-870-2737 is my business line.
Such is very good at it to do your past client strategy. He's really good at it to put those numbers together and explain to you how your past client can be utilized for your future gold mine. So we'll stay tuned for the next video. God bless you, keep smiling, and if you guys have any questions, hey, before you guys go, make sure you comment and see what you guys take away from this video. That is our best thing, you guys can go back to us. Thanks so much. God bless you. See you next week.
Thank you.
Bye now.